Hi everyone. This week we're going to look at lessons 29 through 30. So let's get started. This week you're going to need your lessons manual, the student worksheets, the math card games manual with the game cards, the abacus tiles, the dry erase board, and the colored tiles. This week, we are going to continue working on multi-digit addition, and we will introduce multiplication. So go ahead and turn to lesson 29. In this lesson, we're going to continue working on multi-digit addition on side 2 of the abacus while using place value cards. So let me show you how this is going to work. So I'm going to walk you through the activity that is done in lesson 29. The first thing you're going to want to do is have your child build the equation using place value cards. So here we have the first portion of the equation, 4,817, and we're going to add to that number 2,639. Then we're going to have your child put this quantity, the 4,000 quantity, on side 2 of the abacus. So here I'm going to put 4,817 on the abacus. Now we're going to take one place value at a time. We're going to start with the 9, and we're going to ask your child first, which place value does this go into? Where's the 9 go into? And it goes into the ones. So we're going to add 9 to the ones columns. Then we're going to say, do we need to trade? And we see that we have 10. So yes, we are going to trade. We're going to trade 10 ones for 1 10. On your mark, get set, trade. Then we're going to add the 3 10s. So we're going to add the 3 10s. And again, we're going to ask the question, do we need to trade? No, we don't. We don't have enough to trade. So we're going to leave that as is. That's done. Then we're going to add the 600. Again, ask the question, do we need to trade? Yes, we do. We have 10 right here. So we're going to trade 10 100s for 1 1000. On your mark, get set, trade. Okay, and that part's done. Then we're going to add to it the 2000. And do we have to trade? No, we do not. So our final answer is 7,456. Once that activity has been completed, your child will work through the top row of the problems on worksheet 11. The remaining problems will be completed in lesson 30. If at all possible, have your child work through the problems on their own. If your child does need your help, be sure to have your child explain the process to you as much as they can. Encourage their independent thinking. Ask them questions like, what do we do next? What do we do next? As opposed to telling them what the answers are or telling them what to do next. We're wanting to pull that information out of them. Also, there is not a math card game listed in this lesson, so you're going to want to pick a game to play for the day. Okay, turn to lesson 30. In this lesson, your child is going to move to pencil and paper with their multi-digit adding. After the warm-up, you're going to give your child the worksheet number 11, and you're going to work through the first 4 problems together. Find out what your child understands and where they might struggle. Again, make sure you ask your child what to do next. So what do we do next? What do we do next? To help your child think through the process and work through these problems more independent. Take a look at the paragraph under the heading Worksheet 11. There is a phrase that says, try adding without the abacus. You're going to want to find out the difference between whether or not your child needs to use the abacus or if they're just trying to find the easy way out. I have a child who's always trying to find the easy way out of doing his work. If your child is really struggling through the process, it will be helpful for them to continue to use the abacus. But you're going to want to start off by having your child child try to work through the problems independently. Have them talk the process through to you. This will help you know where the breakdown is in their understanding, and it'll give you the opportunity to help explain to your child what's going on and help them figure it out. After the 4 problems, have your child complete the rest of the worksheet on their own if they're able to. You might want to check their answers as they go. So when they complete a problem, check that answer. That way you can check the procedural errors that they might be having so that they don't do the entire worksheet wrong and have to go back and correct all of them. Otherwise, that will be really frustrating for your child and might overwhelm them. The math card game for lesson 30 is corners plus game, which you played last week. Okay, let's go ahead and turn to lesson 31, which is another review and games day, so a lot less work for you. You're going to want to pick only one of the 2 worksheets to complete, either 12A or 12B. Notice there is one type of problem that was not specifically covered in the lesson. However, it is based on the work that your child did when they were using the base 10 picture cards. Also, just as the previous review and games lesson that you did, if your child misses a significant amount of problems on this worksheet or in one specific section of the worksheet, spend a day or so reviewing the material that they missed by going back over those lessons. Then, after you've done that review, go ahead and you can give them the second worksheet if you wish. Once the worksheet has been done, there are 2 games that you can play. The first game is column addition, and the second game is corners plus 2. The corners plus 2 game is very similar to the corners plus game, except you're going to add 2 points for every corner that is made in the game. There is not a blog listed for the column addition game, but it is a fun game to play and it will help your child practice multi-digit adding. All right, well, let's go ahead and turn to lesson 32. This lesson will provide an introduction to multiplication using arrays. Now, if you don't know what an array is, you can look at the paragraph under the heading, Building a 4x3 Array. It says, this is an array. In math, an array is things arranged in rows and columns. I have not mentioned this before now, but if you do not have a math dictionary, you may want to get one. My kids used a math dictionary all the time. A very good math dictionary is Usborne's Illustrated Dictionary of Math. Right Start Math sells it, but you can find it from other vendors as well. Okay, so in this lesson, your child is going to be working on arrays. So let me show you how the array works in this lesson. So in this activity, your child is going to build a 4x3 array. And that simply means they're going to put 4 tiles 3 times. And it doesn't matter the colors at this point. Once they've built the array, they're going to then build or write out the equation for that. So here we see we have one row of 4 plus another row of 4 plus another row of 4. So that would be 4 plus 4 plus 4. Now that's one way of writing it. But if we are looking at columns, we can also consider this as being 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Once your child has worked through the 4x3 array, they will also work on the 5x2 array. Make sure that they write out all of the equations for this array using multiplication and addition to help them understand how multiplication works. You'll see some samples of that on the top of the second page. After your child works through these examples, they will work on worksheet 13. And just so you know, this is an introduction to arrays and multiplication. It is not something that's going to be mastered by the end of this lesson, but they do need to understand what an array is and get a general idea of how multiplication works. There is not a math card game listed for this lesson, so you're going to want to pick a game to play for the day. That's it for the week. As always, if you have any questions or concerns about a lesson, or if your child is struggling with something, give us a call or email us. We are here to help. Have a great week, everybody. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week when we cover lessons 33 through 36. Bye, everybody.